Hey, how you doing? So you wonder what spirituality is? I mean, I'm sure you're not wondering. We all know what spirituality is, but do you only feel it? Kind of like we're feeling the physical world. Just touch it. What's the physical world? That's, the dogs, the cars, money, work, dirty socks, rivers and oceans. What's spirituality? And we can describe it theoretically, but I've been studying for a while. I've been reading books and talking to people and listening to birds. But it's hard to feel it in the same way that you feel the physical world. But then I've seen people who are spiritual and they're fully in, but they live in it, they feel it. And they go between both states. Kind of like Neo goes in and out of the Matrix. That was good. So, how to get there? I have a story for you. So this story is from the Bible, from the Old Testament, the Torah. And it's about those times when the Hebrews were still in Egypt. So they're enslaved in Egypt and they're building palaces and roads and the pyramids, right? They're slaves. And Moses, he lived in the palace of Pharaoh. He was the prince of Egypt. I didn't see a cartoon, but I saw the ads for it. So Moses was the prince of Egypt. But he also knew that he was Hebrew, because we remember from the story, Pharaoh had this decree against the Hebrew boys. His mom, after he was born, she put him in a crib and she let him float on the water, hoping something good would happen. And when the daughter of Pharaoh, the princess, discovered him, Moses' sister, told her, "Hey, look, I can find someone who's going to feed him." And she brought him back to his mother. So in fact, she was like the first realtor. She connected the client with the real estate. But anyway, so Moses was pretty curious. He was like trying to figure out why there's so much inequality in the world, why there is evil. Why can't things be good? Egypt was a very rich country. It was the first world power back then. Not the first, like 1 to 3, but the top world power. So he was basically against discrimination. And he was probably trying to save the whales too. And actually, I don't know if they have whales in Egypt. They do have sharks. But, so he would go out among the people, and he would try to see and what's really going on and try to talk to people and try to learn to figure out what's really going on, how to change these things. So that other day he was walking, he saw an Egyptian beat a Hebrew. So GTA style, right? So he went, he confronted them, he killed the Egyptian, he buried him in the sand to remove the stars so the police doesn't look for him. And then the next day he was going, he saw 2 Hebrews fighting. And he tells one of them, "Hey, you evil guy, like, why are you beating your friend?" And they told him, like, "What you gonna do about it? Like, you're gonna kill us like the Egyptian?" And I guess the stars went back, and so Moses had to run away. Because the police was looking for him, Pharaoh was looking for him, it was a whole mess. So he ran away. And then we know he came back, right? And he confronted Pharaoh, he confronted Egypt. Egypt got destroyed. He took let my people go and all that stuff. But what's the story about? Is it just a nice legend? Is it like a myth? The ancient myths of Hebrews and Egypt and Egyptians or something like that? No. So here's the metaphor I have for you. Egypt is a general negative state that we're stuck in, with hardly a possibility to escape. It's like the doom and gloom, anger, depression. If you want it in everyday terms, it's like when you leave the house and the day is gorgeous. You have the sun shining and stuff, and birds singing, and squirrels running away. and you're not seeing any of that. You're just like in whatever's going on, anxiety, sadness, worry, anger. That's Egypt. And Egyptians, for that metaphor, are those negative emotions and thoughts that stem from that huge negative state, huge deep negative states that permeates us. And so Moses was going, he saw an Egyptian beat a Hebrew. What are Hebrews? Hebrews are basically thoughts and emotions and intentions, basically. Intentions of wanting to do something good, of wanting to do something properly. When you're at work and you take pride in your work, in your job, and you're trying to help, your customers or whatever you're doing, you're putting your heart in it. When you want to help someone, you go out and you smile at them. When you get the coffee and the barista smiles at you and wishes you a good day, that's those intentional thoughts, intentional emotions, where you're fully present, like you're in touch with your heart. And the evil Hebrew, who was beating his friend, that Moses confronted, that's when you have your emotions and thoughts in a state where you're not intentional. You just go automatically. You just wake up and you brush your teeth and you get dressed and you get a breakfast and you go to work and you just work through your 8 or 12 or whatever amount of hours, and you come home and you don't feel bad, but you don't feel good either. You just kind of work on automatic, on autopilot. And usually it's the precursor of something wrong inside of you, and eventually if you didn't get out of that state, I've seen people kind of losing it softly. So Moses was going around. And what's Moses? Moses is basically the mind. Moses is the mind. At some point you start wondering about what's going on around, why things are not right. Why am I feeling bad? Why am I feeling negative? Why am I feeling angry or scared? And you're trying to figure it out, and you start thinking. The mind goes inside the mind, right? So he was walking around and he saw this good intention, this good thought. Let's say maybe there's someone you want to help. So you get up, you go there to help them, and then somehow it gets hijacked with the negative emotion. Let's say you have a job interview, right? So you're going to get a job, you get ready, you get dressed, you get pumped up, you brush up on whatever skills and information you need, and as you're approaching the office where the interview is going to be, suddenly you get scared, and you feel oh my gosh, I'm not enough, they're not going to hire me, I'm not good enough, they're going to look at me and they'll think we don't need a guy like that. And now you're worried and you're anxious and you start stuttering. And of course you make a bad impression and they don't hire you. Who would hire you when you're stuttering and anxious? And so Moses saw that a good intention was about to be overtaken by a negative intention. And he went and he saved it. He shoved the bad intention away, he made it disappear, and he buried it in the sand. He buried it in the sand. And the next day he was going, he saw a good intention being dragged away by a so-so intention. You come and you came with a good intention. Let's say you're the barista, right? You came with a good intention. Today I'm going to be serving customers, I'll be helping them. And then something happens throughout the day and you're just here's your coffee. What do you want? And you don't care about them. And when that happens, people feel it. You don't want to be shoved your coffee in your face and, with a grim smile, the Russian beach smile, right? It doesn't feel good. It can destroy someone's day. But it's not good even for yourself. Because when we're not doing things intentionally, we're not connecting to our heart. We're not connecting to the world. It's basically we're not living. We're just cruising. It's like a piece of dead wood floating down the river. It's not the same. So Moses saw that there was a good intention going about, and not a bad intention yet, but one of those neutral intention was about to drag it down and take away the intentionality out of it. And he confronted it, and they told him, what are you going to do? You're going to kill me? Just like you killed the Egyptian? You're going to make it disappear? It's not going to help. What are you going to do? And then Moses understood that, yes, you cannot fix it. You cannot just pop the intentions one at a time like Angry Birds. Angry Birds. You can't do that. It's not going to help. It's going to be only a temporary measure. It's going to be burying it in the sand. And the sand tends to fly away after some time and uncover whatever is hidden underneath. The metaphor for sand. We don't need one. It's burying things, like sweeping things under the rug. Sand, the sands of time, right? It's something that has no soul. So Moses ran away. So who is Moses? Moses is the mind that notices that there's something wrong and try to do something about it. So he understood that to do something about it, he needs to go away and figure out what exactly is wrong and what exactly needs to be done. So Moses went away to get clarity, to get strength, to connect with himself. He came back stronger. He was able to come and face Pharaoh. And what's Pharaoh? Who's Pharaoh? So the Pharaoh, if Egypt is that state of negativity, Pharaoh is the underlying emotion that created that negativity. It's the trauma, speaking in psychological terms. It's the thing that you need to go, that final boss that you need to go and confront finally to uproot that trauma and to make a change happen. It's the strongest challenge that we have because it's really the bad side of us, the good side, the dark side, right? It's in order to confront yourself, you need to know who yourself is first. You need to learn your weak parts and your strong parts. So basically Moshe went away to discover himself. He went away from all the brouhaha surrounding him, from all the challenges and all the chaff, all the distortions and distractions. He went away to, you could call it meditate, but it's not like a meditation in a day. He wanted to do some inner work. So I'm talking about the Bible. When you look at the different characters that the Bible is talking about, you have obviously Moses who ran away and then he was able to strengthen himself. I'm getting cold actually. Ugh. Anyway, so Moses went away and he was able to strengthen himself and gain clarity and gain mental and emotional strength, right? And he came back and he was able to confront Pharaoh. And eventually he rescued the Hebrews, which are all the good thoughts and the good intentions, and bring them closer to God. What is God? What is God? God, for that metaphor at least, that I'm talking about, it's the inner voice that reminds the mind that something is wrong, that something needs to be done. What would we call that inner voice? The soul. Sacrilegious, you'd say. How can you call God a soul? Like, we have God. Well, the soul is what connects us humans to the spiritual, to the godliness, to whatever's on top there, right? So the soul is basically a piece of God down here below, inside of us. connects the bottom, the world below to the world above, the inner world to the outer world. But back to the wider metaphor. So we have Abraham. He also had to go away, right? He went away from whatever was known to him, dear to him, his family and everything. He had to go down to Egypt. Oh, back to Egypt, back to negativity. He had to leave what was familiar to him to go face the negativity, to go plunge into the negativity, to discover what it is like, in order to be able to draw the distinction between that and what is good. You have David. I mean, all the stories of David, it's about him running away from something, from one thing, from one scary thing to another scary thing. And among all these running aways, we said running away is getting stronger and getting the clarity and getting to know oneself, right? And all of that, he was basically one of the main personalities in the Bible who connected the closest to God, to the spiritual part. He wrote the Psalms. He basically described what the soul is to do in this world. And you have Cain. Cain was probably the first person who was, well, he was not the first person who was chased away. Obviously, Adam was that. But Cain was the first one who actually did the work. He not only was chased away, but he did the work, and he was the first one who found civilization. He was the first one to build a city. I think it was him. I'm pretty sure it was him. He built the city. He gave hope to other humans, to other individuals in his time to make a structure, to build something that counts inside their inner world. So you meditate, you pray, you work on yourself, you do good, you try your best, really. You try your best at living life righteously, according to whatever rules you know, right? I do too. Or at least I want to. But I still don't feel connection. I still don't feel that connection to the spiritual in the way I feel the physical. I can't grab that spirituality like this. But I've seen some people who do it. And I've tried to study, I've tried to learn, I've tried to listen to things, I've tried to watch things and talk to people, and I don't know about you, I have enough of it. I've seen people who seem to get it, like to swim in it. Like, I've seen people who are fully in spirituality and who are able to go from one world to another. I've seen disciplines that describe here and there parts of it to various depths, but there's always something missing. None of them is all-encompassing. That's what I'm trying to say. But I see how some of them connect. I see how some of them connect and things make sense. So I'm going to try to bring it together. If you have amazing mentors, wise friends, strong intuition, then you're really good. You don't need it. You're really good. But if you're walking a similar path as me, and you're trying it all and you want things to really make sense, not just walk around in the fog. You want things to make sense. I want to welcome you. Welcome you to fly with me. to you.